Assalamu alaikum সবাইকে. Welcome to today's meetup. Today's meetup we will talk about how students can become job ready for the job market after completing their education. We have a special guest here today, Jahidul Islam bhai. He's also one of our mentors and also professional training. He's currently working in the IT job market. He's very respected mentors in our Bitna group, and we give special thanks to him from the bottom of our heart for coming here, giving us some time, and also helping the community and also helping the students as well. It's also very dear to my heart. If there's another word, uh, বিয়ন্ড থ্যাংক ইউ ভাই, বিয়ন্ড ধন্যবাদ, ধন্যবাদ হচ্ছে যদি বড় কোনো শব্দ থাকে ওটা যদি আমি আপনাকে বলতে পারতাম তাহলে আমি অবশ্যই বলতাম। যেহেতু ওই ধরনের কোনো শব্দ বাংলা ভাষায় নাই, তো আমি আপনাকে জাস্ট একটা কথাই বলবো, আমি আপনাকে আন্তরিকভাবে শুভেচ্ছা এবং আন্তরিকভাবে ধন্যবাদ জানায় আমি আপনাদের প্রোগ্রামটা আজকে শুরু করতে যাচ্ছি। জাহিদুল ভাই, থ্যাংক ইউ। প্লিজ ইউ ক্যান গেট স্টার্টেড।
Yeah, you're welcome. No, thank you very much. I think that's too much to talk about me.
Sorry
Yeah,
for being dramatic, but sometimes you gotta make it, you know what I mean? It's just what it is.
no, thank you. Yeah, I don't think so. I deserve that, but I appreciate that. Yeah, and I'm glad to be here again. My name is Jahidul Islam, and we'll be happy to talk to you guys and listen to you guys. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to talk about, the shifts in the job market these days, from your perspective, and what seems to be the main challenges students are currently facing, and navigate their career prospects.
So over the last few days, I have launched an internal campaign to meet people and meet students especially, and talk to them, right? One of my reason was I think it's a big majority of like it's a big group of people, right? A big group of people which is seeking for job in travel and struggling, right? Because they are the people do not have job mostly, right? So I was talking to them. One of the main problem I found with them is like they really do not, many of them do not know what really they have to do. I think that's what I found the big issues that, okay, I'm in a issues with, maybe if we talk about, we can segregate the student group in two places, two groups, right? If we talk about local students and versus, F1 or new people, those who are coming from outside, right? So the local students may be sometimes distracted on what they're doing, or the common thing, they do not have the right guidance what to do, number one. Number two, people has struggle and difficulties, especially with F1, they have struggle with getting OPT or CPT or getting the sponsorship and all that. So they have that kind of struggle. So that too is a very common. And the other thing is that I'll just give an example, right? I was talking to a student from a very reputed university. The student sent me his or her resume to me, and I checked her LinkedIn profile, and I found there is no clear job description or responsibilities or work the person did. I found like the LinkedIn doesn't have even a about summary properly. Then I asked, right, what is your skill set? How do I know by looking at your LinkedIn profile? And I found that student has only 7 connections. It's a local student, doesn't have any problem with work authorization and all that. I said, why do you have 7 connections? You have been in university, you did your bachelor and you did, undergrad, and then now you have done your master's. Why do you have 7 people in your connection? That was my question. I said, okay, this is just like I didn't do it. No one told me. I said, really? Someone has to tell you that how to build your LinkedIn connections. So the key problem, as I said, like a guidance. I think people are not getting the right guidance from the right places, or maybe they are not taking much initiative to get the guidance, right? So you have to take your first step to find out what you need, right? So there are groundwork people can do. There are groundwork. There are rest of the work. So these are the few problem areas I see, right? In short, like as I said, right guidance, and then visa issues, work authorization issues with F1 candidates, and people are really not aware how to deal in the real job markets, right? Those are very basic things I see at this point.
Okay, that's pretty good. I just want to, like, I imagine the challenges can be very daunting and, sometimes, out of control. So what other strategies do you think students can use to be successfully overcome these hurdles, to make sure these things don't happen, and, get some guidance on it?
I think this is a really broad, I think the question is very big here. So I'll try to narrow it down, right? There are problem areas, right? For those who do not have guidance, those who really do not know what to do, they should get the guidance first. That what I am gonna do, right? They can plan it by themselves. They can do online research, study, talk to people like you, talk to people in Bitna, right? That, hey, I'm in this situation, what should I do, right? making that proper plan is important. Even you start at day one student, but one day you are going to come out of the college or university. You should have your right plan in place from the very beginning. I know the one of the things student always keeps saying to me is, there is a lot of work pressure, there is a lot of study pressure, exams and these and that. We really do not get time to think about it. But like I agree they have pressure, but one thing I cannot agree is like you also do some other activities. For example, you use social media, you use your talk to your friends and family. Why not you spend 1 hour or 2 hours out of that to plan what you will do ahead of time? That makes sense, right?
That makes
So
sense.
that's
Mhm.
like something, I would say the planning is important. You plan and make sure that when you plan, the plan is vetted by someone experienced, someone you trust. If you don't trust a people, even they are like well qualified, they're someone top notch, I won't be going to them, because the trust is important here when it is getting us people's suggestion and guidance, right? Because if I'm saying you something, if you don't believe me, if you do not really know who am I, you are never going to listen it. You're going to take it as an information, not as something going to inspire you to go and execute the plan, right? So I strongly recommend people that whenever you make a plan, that plan is never going to be perfect. Take that plan, talk to someone you know, someone you trust. These both things should exist. If they do not have the professional skills to talk about that, also that is not going to be a good criteria to talk to that person, right? A person have to have a professional expertise, the area you are going to talk. You might be in different subject, different field, and different domain you are looking for, right? But the person need to have that at least some form of domain expertise, and then the trust. Both with that, go ahead. Now, when you have a final plan ready, right? This is what I'm gonna do over next 6 months or 1 year or 2 years period of my education, which includes, which includes getting your pet project ready. So if you are, I'm assuming that most of you are interested in tech, so you should have your pet project ready. You should have your side work ready, right? While you are working. What does pet project means if you don't know, right? It might be your hobby website. It might be building your hobby applications, or maybe working with, internship in Bitna, right? Like Prayer Connects, like things like that type of organization where you can contribute. Maybe you can go and spend 2 hours time and have something quantifiable. What does it mean? Like, okay, I have done this type of work with them, right? Having that exposure, even you're still, I'm just talking about when you are a student. I'm not talking about when you are out of, your school and maybe your OPT clock is started. I'm not talking about that time. When your OPT clock is started, you are already in the war. You are already fighting. You need to, stop the clock, or you need to get an offer and whatnot, right? So you already under immense amount of mental pressure. So until, you should prepare before that. For those who are local students here, right? For the locals, what happens? When they are in the study, they can still look for job, right? But some people, they have a huge study pressure. They're very much academic. They do not want to spend time on the job, same time when they're doing masters, which is perfectly fine. But they should also have their plan ready, right? They should also make that preparation, doing some part-time work with developers and places where they can get opportunity. It can be like doing by themselves, right? But making that full preparation throughout the time is extremely important to me. So planning, doing what they can do during the time, and when they're out, when they're actually searching job, before they go to search their job, they should actually there should be a way to identify where you are standing. I'll bring another example. So another student is targeting 5 different job roles. 5 different job roles. Can you imagine 5 different job roles? Why a student will search? You have to narrow down your area of interest. You have to try to do what you really like to do, right? What you have a capacity. You cannot be qualified for 5 different roles. It is not practically possible, honestly speaking. And then if you may, then you have to be something really, really great, right? Something really exceptional capacity. So in this competitive job market, narrowing down and targeting a certain area where you find like you are expert at, that is like important. Now, when you try to narrow down, how do you narrow down this? If you don't know yourself, you don't know what is your skill set. So make sure you know your skill set. And one of the easy way I usually tell people that how do you know where you are standing? For example, you are very much interested in certain UI developer role or certain backend developer role. Get that exact role, go to LinkedIn, go to other places, find 10 or 20 job description, put it in a Word doc. Okay, put it in a Word doc. Now, out of that, summarize the key skill set these people are looking for. So nowadays you can use ChatGPT saying that, hey, summarize this 50 job requirements give me the unique skill set. Just give this prompt, ChatGPT or any of these generative AI going to give you, say, hey, okay, looks like out of this document we found 40 unique skill set. Now take a pen and paper, right? When I say pen and paper, you can do it definitely in the doc. Mark what skill set you already have in your bucket list and what you do not have. What you do not have, you can go ahead and plan for it. You're good? Yes, in fact.
Yeah, I'm
Anything?
good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I just have one thing to add to everybody is that, whoever is joining this meetup, please kindly, come to video and share your opinions as well, because we want to make these kind of sessions more interactive as much as possible, not just the host and the guest talking on the video and nobody else is talking. It kind of looks odd to us a little bit. Please, if you cannot come to the video, no problem for personal reasons, but please try to be more interactive with us, because from Beatness Point perspective, from the previous meetups, we want to make sure we become as interactive as possible. You know, even though we are remote and everything, just to make it more interesting and more more cooperative with everyone as much as possible. ঠিক আছে? And if you have any questions, there is a chat box window there. Please post all your questions. If you have any questions in your mind, you might forget that question later on down the line. So just add it there so that we can refer back to those questions later on during this session. So please kindly, I request everyone who really wants to participate, come in the video if you really have questions. And if you're a student, you should definitely ask questions to me and Jahidul Bhai or anybody else here. Okay, I'll come to the next topic that we want to talk about. Like the F1 international students often have a unique set of challenges, like OPT and student visa issues, and can you share some light of what these are and how can they effectively tackle that situation, or how can they tackle the challenges if you're an F1 international student? Thank you.
Okay, sure. Again, just a disclaimer, right? I'm not an F1 expert, right? I hasn't
Uh,
even,
Can I
I have,
ask anybody here is F1 student? Anybody here in the participants is F1 student? Maybe they can ask some questions. Just raise your hand or tell us something. Anybody here? Hello?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
You're an F1 student. Okay. Okay. Do you
So,
have any challenges that you think F1 students face? Sorry, I want to make it more interactive. Sorry for asking
yes,
questions.
here.
Uh,
Hello?
can you listen to me, ma'am?
হ্যাঁ, বাংলাতে বলতে পারো, কোনো অসুবিধা নাই, যেহেতু
Huh.
স্টুডেন্ট আমি তুমি করে বললাম, হ্যাঁ?
Absolutely fine, ma'am. Whatever this is the biggest challenge that we have for the F1 student, like CPT, OPT, and all other thing, and whatever the thing is going on in around. The problem is where like we are I will be let me give my example. Like I will be graduating in December. I was supposed to graduate in this spring, but when I was applying for internship and when I am seeing that in different companies that are going for layoff, actually, I postpone my graduation and make it delayed and took less courses in the spring semester, so that actually I can graduate in December. And within the time that I have more skills and I can get prepared for the market. And what Bhaiya was saying that before coming to the market, when OPT starts, already for the international students, actually it is 90 days from the day my OPT starts. Within 90 days, I have to get the job. After 90 days, my status, I mean, if within the 90 days, if I don't have a job, then after that, I have to leave USA. So the time is actually very crucial for international students to get a job within these 90 days. And what happens after this 90 days, if I even get the job, the next challenges come for the H1B. If the after H1B, I mean, I need to get selected in the H1B. Then the subsequent steps like EB2 or EB3 skilled visa or whatever it is, or EB1, whatever it is, it goes on. So I mean, we now for last couple of days, what my challenge is, I know that I have this skill set. I know I can at least because in my university when I am taking the classes, I am participating and competing with the local students who are from USA and who are also from international community from India, Pakistan, and all other regions. in the exams and in other places, in the projects, I know that I have the skill sets, I have the coding background and other thing. But the problem is, what I am finding is that when I'm applying to any particular job, I'm not seeing a single progress. Like, okay, at least let me go to the interview phase. If I get the interview, then at least I can show and tell that, okay, I know this, I do not know this, I know I have done this work, I can at least project. But আমি এখনো পর্যন্ত যে কটা অ্যাপ্লাই করছি ভাই, একটা তো আমি ইন্টারভিউ লেভেল, মানে একটা ফার্স্ট স্টেপই ক্রস করতে পারিনি। সো অ্যাকচুয়ালি এইটা আমাকে মানে
It's
এত
very
মেন্টালি
frustrating.
একটা, এত ফ্রাস্ট্রেটিং ফিল করে যে রিসেন্টলি আমি এখন একটা ইন্টার্নশিপের জন্য আমি অ্যাপ্লাই করা বন্ধ করে দিচ্ছি। মানে ভাই, এই অ্যাপ্লাই করলেই নো রিপ্লাই, উই হ্যাভ গুড ক্যান্ডিডেটস আদার, বাট ইট ওয়াজ হাইলি কম্পিটিটিভ, এই ধরনের সুন্দর সুন্দর করে মানে কথা লিখে, মেইল লিখে পাঠায় দেয়। তো এটা ধরেন মানে আমি জানি যে হ্যাঁ অ্যাপ্লাই অনেক করতে হবে, বাট অ্যাটলিস্ট দুই একটা স্টেপ আগাইলে তখন একটা ধরেন মোরাল একটা ইয়ে পাওয়া যায়, একটা শক্তি পাওয়া যায়,
Moral
না ঠিক
support,
আছে,
right?
হ্যাঁ, আই এম
So
হেডিং টুয়ার্ডস দ্য রাইট ডিরেকশন। Whereas
Right.
জব মার্কেটে নামার আগেই যদি ধরেন ফর একটা সিম্পল ইন্টার্নশিপ where actually they don't require so much of skills for an intern or co-op positions, এইখানে যদি না আগাতে পারি তখন আসলে খুব ফ্রাস্ট্রেটিং লাগে। দ্যাট ইজ মাই বিগেস্ট কোশ্চেন অ্যাকচুয়ালি, হাউ টু, আই মিন আমি জানি আমার সিভিটাকে, আমি চ্যাট জিপিটির কথা বললো ভাইয়া, চ্যাট জিপিটি দিয়ে আমি করে কি ওই যে জব পজিশনটাকে প্রথমে আগে কি ওয়ার্ড গুলি যেগুলি ওগুলিকে আমি ট্র্যাক করে বের করে আমার সিভিটাকে ওইভাবে আমি অ্যালাইন করি, সো দ্যাট যাতে এই ট্র্যাকারের মাধ্যমে, যদি এআই এর মাধ্যমে যখন ট্র্যাক করে অ্যাটলিস্ট ওই ওয়ার্ড গুলি যাতে পায়, কি ওয়ার্ড গুলি যাতে পায়। মোটামুটি যতটুকু পারি আমি একটা সিভি অ্যাপ্লিকেশনের জন্য কাভার লেটার প্লাস রেজিউমিটাকে ওইভাবে কাস্টমাইজ করে একদম ওইভাবে অ্যালাইন করে দেই, এক দেড় ঘন্টা সময় নেই ম্যাক্সিমাম যতটুকু পারি। তারপরেও যদি না হয় তখন আসলে ভাই খুব মানে খারাপ
yeah,
লাগে।
Frustrating lage. I know.
okay.
I
Arafat,
can,
thank you so much.
I feel the pain of Arafat because if I'm in his shoes, it'd be a daunting task for me. You know, it's really tough. There's someone asking for your LinkedIn profile in the chat, so maybe you can share it over there as
Yeah,
well,
so
Arafat.
that's me. That's me, right? So it's not only to Arafat. I think it's very generic situation, Arafat, where you are in. I have been keep listening exactly same thing what you're saying from people from different universities, right? Now there are two ways to see these things. There are some static constant we cannot remove. For example, visa difficulties, H-1B difficulties. For example, the OPT criteria you have, right? Can we remove that? Technically, these are like a barrier you cannot really change. It is not within your control, right? Now, outside your control, what you have? You can only apply, and apply. And then before you apply, you can actually just make sure that you are ready for the right thing. You are applying in the right place, right? Now, again, I understand this is difficult to keep your motivation high and things high. But again, if you feel frustrated, if you feel low, then it's not gonna work, right? It's not gonna help you anyway, right? So you need to understand and accept and acknowledge this situation, right? Now, other aspect of this, right? How many job, like, let me ask you a question. How many job you have applied in last 2 months?
I have applied over 55 jobs.
So see, 55 job is my recommendation to apply in one day to a student. I'm just being honest.
Be
It's
open to
one day-
relocation.
Is one day a person should apply 55. That's my recommendation to every people I coach. Okay, last 6 years, not only during this time. Now, during this time, it should be maybe people should do as much as you can. I'm talking about in a good day, sunshining day, when there was a lot of job 2 years ago or 1 year ago. That was my recommendation. Now you can think of what should be the recommendation currently. So the amount of application is extremely low, what you are doing in this market. Number one. Number two, do you have to tweak your resume all the time for a particular job? Honestly speaking, no. If you have the right skill set, if you write it down in your resume properly and cleanly in Jack, you do not have to tweak your resume in every places. Because if you try to tweak your resume every applications, you cannot end up with that big volume of application, right? Your job is to send a lot of applications to the people, right? And you cannot really spend 20 minutes time on one application all the time, or 30 minutes time application one time. Then practically you cannot really apply much applications. So you will have to have both combination of application, like easy. There are easy apply and one click apply, and you will also have to customize things. But the main goal is to increase your numbers. The numbers are extremely low. I said it is extremely low. You're saying last 2 months, 55, and you are hoping for a call. I'm sorry to say you are not eligible to get a call, honestly speaking.
Yeah,
Based on our
let me.
experience, we are giving you advice based on our
See, this is
experience.
not you, right? It's not a person. I really do not know who you are. What is your background?
Let me tell you something that actually what happens when I see a job. First, I see that whether they accept CPT, OPT or not. Okay, that is the first thing I have to look for. Because in the job market, when I go for the LinkedIn or Dice, whatever the jobs are, or in Indeed, in three places actually I look for jobs. Okay, so wherever I go, I first see that whether they accept for a CPT or OPT or not. So ওইখানে 70% অ্যাপ্লিকেশনটা স্ক্রিন আউট হয়ে যায় আসলে ওই জবগুলোতে
Okay,
যেগুলিতে
so yeah, let
সিপিটি
me stop you here. Yeah,
yeah.
let me give you some
I
insight.
will also give you some advice. Jahidul bhai শেষ করার পরে.
Yeah,
Please
sure.
go
So
ahead.
the insight is here. We can definitely talk all that a lot, but we wanted to be very pinpointed and wanted to pass the information right here. There are some job, it has nothing written on work authorization, and the number of that job is extremely high. It means they are open to accept anyone. If there are restrictions, and now again, just to give you, I didn't give my introduction. If you don't know me, I'm involved in recruiting heavily. I have a own recruiting firm we run. It is a separate business, and I also run a bootcamp. So I'm very much involved in the recruiting community and hiring process, right? From an employer perspective and from a recruiting perspective, right? So in your there are many jobs. It's not written really whether it is OPT or CPT, or they're looking for only green card. Many jobs. Read out those jobs, you'll find. So in that case, should you always filter? No, you should not filter. If you can pinpoint a CPT, OPT job, that's great. That's definitely great. But there are other jobs too. So OPT and CPT is not your first, should not be your first criteria. That's all I'm trying to mean. When you filter, do not filter out OPT and CPT. Filter only the skills you are having and the internships or the role you are looking for, and continue apply. And then you'll narrow down that, okay, I want to be very targeted on OPT and some areas, and I want to tweak my resumes, and I think that I have a lot of potential for that role. Yes, invest more time on that. But if you just filter out on OPT and CPT, now maybe you are skipping some roles where they are open to have internal and external candidates, if that makes sense.
আচ্ছা, আমি আরাফাত, আমি তোমাকে একটা অ্যাডভাইস দিতে পারি as a mentor and one of these admins in Bitna. If you are also going over Dice, Indeed, and all these websites, you're actually looking at the wrong places. কেন জানো? You need CPT and OPT sponsorship for H1B. The only people who do that are certain agencies যারা OPT, CPT student খুঁজে, and those are available in a website like Indian at a website is called sulega.com. Ohana you'll see ads of people doing OPT CPT all the time. So that's where you have a higher chance to get connected with one of those like South Asian recruiters. I'm South Asian বলবো because ওরা বিভিন্ন দেশের মানুষ থাকে ওখানে, but mostly South Asian descendants, origin আর কি ইন্ডিয়া পাকিস্তান বাংলাদেশের লোক থাকে. So they
What is the
they
name?
hire সুলেখা.com. সুলেখা,
Sulekha.
এটা একটা ইন্ডিয়ান একটা ওয়েবসাইট সাধারণত, হ্যাঁ, তো ওখানে লেখা থাকে লাইক ওপিটি সিপিটি থাকে, সো দে আর দ্য ওয়ান্স হু স্পন্সর ওপিটি সিপিটি পিপল, সো দ্যাটস ওয়ার ইউ শুড বি লুকিং ফর দ্য জব, বাট there's a caveat to that. What they do is they'll hire you as an OPT candidate for a job which is supposed to be you supposed to get higher pay than what is expected, but they'll pay you a little less than what you expected. For example, the $60-70 হয়, তোমাকে হয়তো $40 দিবে, for example. আমি just don't
No,
don't don't
I
don't take it
understand.
negatively. Let me finish, okay?
I
Let
will
me
have
finish.
a contact with them, and maybe they will take
Exactly.
some
But
percentage.
but once your CPT gets approved and you get to the H1 situation, lottery situation, then you have a chance for EB2. আর EB2 একটা ভালো খবর হচ্ছে, যদি বাংলাদেশি ন্যাশনালিটি হও, that EB2 process is very less compared to India. ইন্ডিয়ার জন্য 12 বছর লাগে, বাংলাদেশের জন্য 1 থেকে 2 বছর লাগে, which is a very good news. But to go to that process is a tough process. ঠিক আছে? So you need to go, you need to look at the right location, and you need to find the right people who can give you that OPT and CPT. And suleka.com is one of those websites where you can go and find that, because that's where you should be looking. ঠিক আছে? 'Cause that narrows down your scope of search, and you just go there and you find out who they are. ঠিক আছে? That's where you should be looking. ঠিক আছে? আর আরেকটা জিনিস সেটা বলবো as a big brother and advice, keep a backup plan. If your CPT OPT doesn't happen, is there any options for you to relocate to another destination or another country? maybe Canada. They have ওদের তো পয়েন্ট সিস্টেম আছে, ইমিগ্রেশন আছে। দ্যাটস I'm just giving you a মানে জবটা মতো বেশি নাই, I understand that, but for right candidates there's jobs, ঠিক আছে? ওটা একটা অপশন হইতে পারে, and you can also try European countries. I'm just don't take it in a hard way.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no.
giving you I'm
Whatever
giving
you
you
said,
pragmatic advice, pragmatic
let me
practical
tell
advice
you
দেওয়ার
that
জন্য।
what actually I planned for. আমি যেমন
No, you
আমার
don't have to share your plan with everybody. I'm just giving you my advice.
অ্যাবসলিউটলি ফাইন। আমি জাস্ট আপনাকে বলতেছি যে আসলে এটা তো আমাদেরও চিন্তা থাকে। আমি যেমন পিএইচডির জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করতেছি, এটা হলো গিয়ে আমার ফার্স্ট ব্যাকআপ প্ল্যান। সেকেন্ড ব্যাকআপ প্ল্যান হলো গিয়ে কানাডায় আমি এক্সপ্রেসেন্টের জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করে ওখানে আমি পার্মানেন্সির জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই অলরেডি করে দিচ্ছি আইএলটিএস দিয়ে। সো এটা হলো গিয়ে আমার সেকেন্ড ব্যাকআপ প্ল্যান, ঠিক আছে? থার্ড ব্যাকআপ
Good.
প্ল্যান থার্ড ব্যাকআপ
Everybody,
প্ল্যান
everybody listen to what Arafat is saying. This is what you should be doing. Have a backup plan.
মানে আমি ওটাতে ওই কানাডাটাতে আমি অ্যাপ্লাই করে অলরেডি আমি ফাইনাল স্টেজে চলে গেছি। জাস্ট দে নিড টু কনফার্ম, দে নিড টু আস্ক ফর মাই পাসপোর্ট, কারণ ওরা ওদের কানাডার আবার ওদের মানে ইন্টারভিউ সিস্টেম না, ওরা হলো অনলাইনে অ্যাপ্লাই করে এই যে এইভাবে দেয়। তো এটা হলো গিয়ে আমার মানে ফার্স্ট অ্যান্ড সেকেন্ড ব্যাকআপ প্ল্যান। থার্ড আসলে যেহেতু আমি ইউএস তে পড়াশোনা করেছি, সো আই উইল হ্যাভ সাম কানেকশন, সো আমি এখন থার্ড ব্যাকআপ প্ল্যানটা এখনো প্ল্যান করে নেই। বাট এই যে আপনি যেটা বলতেছেন যে রিক্রুটিং এজেন্সি যেটা আছে, আই ওয়াজ প্ল্যানিং টু গো ফর দ্যাট, বাট আই ওয়াজ থিঙ্কিং দ্যাট ফর ইন্টার্নশিপের জন্য আসলে তো আমার তাদের কাছে যাওয়ার দরকার নেই ইন্টার্নশিপের
So
জন্য।
one thing here I want to add here, right? Arafat, all these backup plan are great. Okay, definitely you are doing great job on that area, right? So just to give you an FYI, right? To take an intern, no company require whether you are OPT or what. They can take any intern. There is no obligation to take interns. So if a recruiter, so this is something I am listening from students, right? What students are saying that legally there is no requirement, but they will push you that, hey, okay, you are students, we cannot take you, you are F1 and whatnot, because in future you need you need sponsorship and whatnot, right? So that make sure that you understand your legal ground, that what you supposed to get and what you are not supposed to get, right? Then that way you can advocate for yourself. That's one thing. Other thing is, like, I think all of you know, maybe আপনারা সবাই জানেন, right? Usually there is something called optional training, and you can get unpaid training, and then you can submit it to USCIS, and then you can stop your clock, which you can do for about, I think, a year. So যেটা 3 মাসের জায়গায় আপনি হয়তো 6 মাস 9 মাস বা 10 মাস পর্যন্ত এক্সটেন্ড করতে পারেন।
Masood Azad, you have a question? Masood Azad, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I have a question.
I can't
So,
hear you. Your voice is very low. Can you speak up? Sorry.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. So,
Sorry for making it interactive, guys.
yeah, that's why I was actually trying to open the window. Okay. So I have a question, since we're talking about the OPT, CPT based consultancy firms, right? So my question is that, let's say one joins those, one keeps their OPT or CPT active through those consultancy firms, right? Then if they want to go for H-1B lottery, or as Bayo was mentioning, other visa category, EV2, I think it's NIW, something like that, right?
Right.
So to make those steps, is it necessary to move from those consultancy firms once one ensures the OPT CPT situation, or is it more like one can stay,
I
one
cannot
can
give you
do
that
those things through
advice. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know.
there are two things. I think we need to clarify this as a disclaimer to all of you, those who are participating, right? So there are two advice. One is a legal advice, and another one is an informational advice. I think as Bitna, we will be legal advice, comes more legal, right? More legal question. And I think me or Yasin Bhai, none of us is expert in that area. So we don't want to spread some misconception on that. So that would be like one thing I would say with regards to your question.
Okay. And I have another question.
Yeah, sure.
So it's more about, like, as you're saying, that to apply to 40 to 50 jobs per day, right? And to some extent, we have to target for passing the initial ATS, right?
Mhm.
So in that case, like, how much time should one invest in changing the resume?
Zero time. For tech, once your resume is set, rock solid, it should be rock solid. Now, এখন আপনার resume-টা rock solid কিভাবে করবেন? এখানে একটা question আছে. As I said, it should go through multiple validation, not only by you, but also reviewed by industry professionals. People you trust, people you have confidence, people those who are expert in this area. I might be an engineer, for example, and I never know really, I never spend time on suggesting people how to repair their resume, right? in that case, I'm not the right person. Even I have 15 years experience. Because there are two aspects to understand. You need to aspect how an employer thinks, how a hiring manager thinks, right? There are multiple things to think. যখন আমি ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং কাজ করি, শুধু আমি ডেডিকেটেড ইঞ্জিনিয়ার, আমার হয়তো এটা নাও থাকতে পারে চিন্তায়, রাইট? সো আপনি যদি একটা রক সলিড রিজিউমি বানান, you really do not have to tweak it every time. I'll tell you why. As of now, I think it's very rare case when I tweak my resume. And my students, I usually don't say, no, don't do it. You don't have to. Because আপনি তো রিজিউমিতে কি লিখছেন? আপনার রিজিউমিতে আপনার একটা সার্টেন স্কিল সেট লিখছেন. Let's take it in a very general discussion, right? You wrote your certain skill set and strength. Correct?
Yep.
Now, আপনার কি স্কিল সেট কি সবসময় আপনি 100% ম্যাচ করবেন একটা কোম্পানিতে? Impossible. In fact, it's never going to happen. So there will be maybe 50% match or 60% match or 70% match. But still an employer going to pick your resume just because you have certain expertise which can be transformed towards their need. That is something need to be established through your resume. So your resume doesn't have to be 100% match of the job requirements, but it has to give an impression to person, whoever is looking at that, hey, this guy can fit into our environment. And how do you do that? If we see really a clear and concise and quantifiable information in your resume, this person, this and that, and that's how the outcome was, looks like he can do our job too, right? That's one thing. Now coming back to the ATS, right? I would say don't think about ATS, right? I created some videos in my channel. You'll find that how to, you can just go ahead, use some tools like there is called ATS scanner or something like that. Job scan, I think jobscan.com.
Job scan.
You can go ahead there and check how much ATS friendly your resume is, right? And then make sure that you reach somewhere 70, 80% or 90% mark, in that status, right? Jobscan.com. Now, should you think all the time about ATS? Honestly speaking, don't think. Why? I'll tell you. There are employers from 50 to 100 or 200 employees company. Do they have ATS friendly software system in their system? Most likely no. Answer to the question is no. I'm just talking from the recruiting side, right? Not everyone is scanning your resume through ATS, honestly speaking. Now, if it goes to LinkedIn, that's a different story. LinkedIn do something with the keywords and all that stuff. But আপনি যখন directly apply করবেন, not all the employers has ATS. আপনি যদি এখন ATS নিয়ে চিন্তা করেন, এটা একটা extra burden আপনার মাথায়. See, if you walk from destination A to destination B, your goal will be always walking with a minimum or optimum load, right? You do not want it to go extra. You do not want it to have additional things. So thinking about ATS is, first of all, is just giving you extra burden. So cut that burden, drop it in the back. Just walk forward, right? But before you do that, you just need to make sure your resume is vetted. You are confident, right? You are confident on what it is. 3 people says that your resume is good according to the area you are looking for. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, thank you.
আচ্ছা, এখানে সাইদ বলতেছে he completed masters in information technology systems. The OPD started on 2000 May 2024. He needs a job. He needs a job offer. We are not recruitment agency side. We are a bit now. We try to help, and we try to help the community with technology to help as much as we can. So you can ask Jahidul Bhai personally if he is willing to help you. If not, I can connect you with someone who may be able to help you. But আমি যেটা ইয়াকে আরাফাতকে দিয়েছি, হ্যাঁ, ওই যে suleka.com আমি লিখেছি, ওখানে ট্রাই করতে পারো। ওখানে অনেক ওপিটি সিপিটি লোকজন হায়ার করে, সব দেশি লোকজন থাকে ওখানে, so they hire people. So that's one of your options which you can try. I'm just pointing you to the right direction. So anyway, I don't want to waste any more time. We'll go to the next topic. Sorry, Jahidul Bhai, apologize for any inconvenience. So we want to talk about in briefly about the STEM fields, the job market challenge on the STEM field, and how to get prepared. Students can get prepared for the STEM field in the job market. And also, I will also add something to that, is the practical experiences is so valuable. Not all students may graduate can have that experience. So how can they get the practical experience that affects the STEM graduates? So I'll in a nutshell, I'm going to put everything STEM in one question.
I think we covered most of that because we focused on the tech, but there
Okay.
is confusion, right? What is the confusion? Some graduates coming from a STEM, but they hasn't done anything software engineering. They hasn't done any coding work, right? There are some STEM jobs like subjects is like nothing to do with programming, nothing to do with software development, right? But for them, they might be in a confused state that should we try for anything related to tech or not, right? That can be a confusing state for many. The answer to the question is yes, it is doable. But the thing is that you just make sure that you find right thing to do. What does it right things means? But based on your time, because if you plan early, right, you should not go in OPT and then plan for it, right? You know that your course curriculum is not going to teach you programming. And honestly speaking, the programs you guys are doing, you can tell me better, but I'm listening from the students, I'm seeing the people, that's how they're saying they do not have really enough practical experience to demonstrate in the real world, right? What you are doing in a course curriculum. So if you are even in a, in a STEM curriculum where you are learning programming and all that, but if it is not real world focusing, then you have to do additional work to get that one in your bucket. Same goes, those folks are nothing to do with programming. They should start making a plan to learn additional things, what will prepare you for certain role. That would be my very general suggestions to those folks.
ওকে সাইদ, আমি তুমি করে বললাম তুমি আরাফাত যেভাবে ব্যাকআপ প্ল্যান করেছে ক্যানাডা এন্ড আদার প্ল্যানস, ইউ শুড ডু দ্যাট ইন কেস ইউ ডোন্ট মেক ইট, জাস্ট অ্যান অ্যাডভাইস এজ আ বিগ ব্রাদার হিয়ার, সো ডোন্ট টেক ইট ইন আ নেগেটিভ ওয়ে,
বুঝতে
এনিথিং লাইক
পারলাম না কানাডার কি বললেন?
ওই যে আরাফাত যেভাবে একটা আরাফাত কানাডা যাওয়ার জন্য একটা প্ল্যান করছে, ব্যাকআপ প্ল্যান ইন কেস ওপিটি
না,
ডাজন্ট
ওইটা তো
ওয়ার্ক
আমার
আউট।
তো এখানে ফ্যামিলি আছে, তো আমার ওয়াইফ বাচ্চা সব এখানে আছি, হুট করে
ও
তো আমি
আচ্ছা,
মুভ হইতে পারি না।
I
ওইটা আমার
understand, but
আমার ব্যাক
whatever the case may be, you should find a backup plan. Like I don't know, I don't. It's not. I don't want to like get
না,
personal and
কানাডার ভিসা
find your.
করা
আমি
আছে।
কারোর পার্সোনাল লাইফ সম্বন্ধে কথা বলতে চাই না, because
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
for personal লাইফটা সমস্যাগুলো শেয়ার না করাটা better, because you can talk to me personally, privately,
Yeah,
but
because
if you have issues, because
yeah.
this we want to keep things generic so that everybody can participate at key and everything, huh? So everybody's situation is different, but try to keep a backup plan that works for you. Doesn't have to be Canada. আমি জাস্ট ওইভাবে করে বললাম একটা ব্যাকআপ প্ল্যানটা। ক্যানাডা একটা অপশন হইতে পারে, but there's other options as well. There's other things you can do. So try to
আচ্ছা
find other options that works out for you. But
ওকে
you'll have to figure that out. If you want to talk personally with me or Jahidul Bhai or anybody of the mentors about what you can do, you're most welcome to connect with us. ঠিক আছে? But I don't want to I don't want to bring your personal issues into the
ওকে
into
ওকে
the chat. If you don't what I mean, হ্যাঁ? ঠিক আছে? Don't take it personally, হ্যাঁ? So যেটা বলতে চাচ্ছিলাম, we'll go to the final one of the other questions, like the how students who are feeling overwhelmed by the job search process, and what the final pieces of advice that you can do to keep them motivated and focused on finding the jobs. Jahidul bhai. After that, we'll go into chit chat situation with everyone.
Yeah, sure. No problem. So I think one thing is like it's tiring. It's not because you are F1. Everyone is facing this problem, right? Um, there are people even with citizenship and all that stuff. People are struggling. This is a truth. Not everyone is acknowledging it based on whatever their affiliations are, but I think I'm one person who acknowledges this problem. We are seeing very qualified people. They're struggling to get job. Not the fresher. I'm talking about experienced people. I know people 7-8 years experience struggling 3-4 months to secure a position. So for certain role, are they bad people? No, they work 8 years. They have experience. They're still struggling to get a job. Now, on the contrary, other hand, are there jobs? There are jobs. How do you know? My team, we were struggling to close 2 positions last 5 months. 2 positions we are struggling to close last 5 months. Is this believable? No, it is very hard to believe, right? The problem is it was, my team was unable to, get the right people. What does it mean? Like in Amazon, the hiring process is critical. Even 5 people board, maybe 2 people is inclined, 3 people is not inclined. So it was becoming too hard to get these people. Finally, my team actually hired internally. So we had to relocate some other people, those who want to come to Austin, right? We just got them, but we were not able to hire external people. So this actually proves that there is an extreme lag of right skill set even in many positions. So there are 2 pictures. You need to understand that. You need to look at the bright side, and you also need to understand that you are not only one person, struggling here. You are struggling, other people are struggling, because one of many cases, what happens, like if you're in F1, you feel like a little bit low, right? Because you do not have work authorization, you are not privileged by like other people, those who are here, which is, see, it's a fact. Let's accept the fact and then fix the area what we can fix. What we cannot fix, we cannot change that. We cannot open, like this country will never open everything for others, right? That's normal. There will be a process, law, regulations, step-by-step process. So again, when you are into job market, keep these things in mind. Keep purely this thing in mind. This is a situation. There are jobs, but I again feel like the lack of right way of applying is 50% reason of not to get a job, right? Lack of having a right portfolio, right resume, going to the right people is actually another big issues, right? So if you are in the market, if you're looking for job, just make sure that your resumes are vetted, you connect with right people, make enough applications. As brother Yasin says, have your backup plan ready. If you are in OPT, you can also make sure that you can extend the clock if you are not getting job, but you have to hold your nerve. You have to hold your nerve and have a trust on Almighty. Almighty has a plan for you already, and it has been defined many, many years ago before you started doing it. That's the truth. That's the fact we believe in. Now, again, whatever your faith ground and belief ground is, I do not know. But again, this is what many of us believe in, right? So it is already defined. You cannot really just go ahead and be frustrated today. You already have struggles. You already have a financial struggle. You already have a pressure of when you will get work authorization and whatnot. Why should you add more? Just try to remove some of them. Do your part. Focus on your work, and hopefully things will work out. That is one of the biggest way you can utilize yourself and keep yourself hydrated at all times, and connect with more people, talk to more people, right? There is no harm to talking to industry professionals. In Bitna, we have 3,000 people, right?
4,000 actually. It's
4,000 people, right?
increasing every day.
It's a 4,000 people. And if not everyone is going to be interested in talking, which is fine, right? If there are
But
professionals,
post your questions on the groups and everybody will be there to help you out.
see, as what happens sometimes, posting question is great. You can do it, but also it is going to be helpful reaching out 5 people saying that if you find that you can talk to them, that brother, can I get you 20 minutes time? Right? For example, if you want to talk to me, my calendars are open. I have some slots where I talk to people. You can definitely go ahead, book my slot and talk to me. I'm willing to give my understanding, and I'm willing to see even your resume when I'm on call. And I can just say, hey, this is an area we can improve. As I was sharing an experience with another candidate, right? So my suggestion is there are many good people up there who is willing to give you 10 minutes time. And these 10 minutes can be life-changing. Why it's life-changing? I'll just give you an example so that you can relate. One of an engineer I spoke last week, he's about to finish his master's, right? But he worked back home in Bangladesh, I think 5 years or 6 years. Now in his job, he has written so-and-so bank officer, senior officer. And in the bracket, he wrote software development engineer. I said, what is this? In North America, if I see senior officer, the very first thing I will think, this guy was not 100% into development. That's the very first thing. And he said, but no one told me this in the past. I said, I think you never talked with someone like that. You get my sense. It's a very small thing. And then another thing I would suggest, like, from your LinkedIn profile, remove your every possible way that someone can identify your origin. That's my suggestion. Now, it is my personal opinion, okay? Some people can disagree on that. When I say origin means, by looking at your LinkedIn profile, no one should make a comment that this person is an immigrant, this person F1, this person coming from A, B, C, D country. Why? I'll explain you. Give me a few minutes on this. Is extremely important thing I'm just trying to mention to you. By law, an employer, a recruiter, cannot do a discrimination on you when they're picking your resume, when they're in the hiring process. Okay, the hiring process should be exactly same for F1, for local students, for whatever the visa status you have. That's the law. Law is protecting you here. Now, before you even get into there, people is screening your resume, right? When they screen your resume, what happens? When they screen your resume, you're gonna like, if I see your resume and I understand you're F1, I'm not going to call you at all, because that's my mental biasness. If I see you are from a country A or country B and I do not like country A, I'm not going to call you. And I think I'm not going to call out the names just for the sake of recording, right? Sorry, Yasin bhai, I can't hear you. Maybe if you're talking, you are mute. Yasin bhai, you are mute. We can't hear you. Can you hear Yasin bhai? No. Yasin bhai, we can't hear you.
Sorry. My chacha called me and I was speaking to him in Chittagonian language. He was supposed to come and visit me today. I'm sorry about that. So I had
Oh
to
yeah,
mute
sure.
myself. Sorry.
No
Anyway,
problem.
যেটা বলতেছিলাম, I think it's better. I think we can. It's very difficult from Bitnar perspective. কিছু বলতে চাই, it's very difficult for us to help everyone at the same time because we all have day jobs and families to take care of. এখানে 4,000 জন আমরা IT employees আছি বাংলাদেশি যারা all over the North America. We try our best to help everyone out. It's not always possible to reach out and help everyone else because you have to respect our time also, you know. But যার কারণে we do all these frequent meetups. To help students and help everybody else with technology professions as well. So if somebody needs help, like simple merely as resume and stuff, we cannot really spoon feed everyone with resumes and stuff. But always feel free to reach out and post to your group. If you're confused about your resume, what you can do is you can reach out to some of the admins or someone, or you can just post a question that can someone help me with a resume review, like suppose like that, like I'm looking for a job, I'm looking for resume review, এই ধরনের question কেউ যদি আপনি বিটটা গ্রুপে পোস্ট করেন আপনারা, then someone will be there to help you and someone is willing to help you, then they can assist you with your resume and they can give you some kind of mentorship. So it's going to work that way. Look, if you need mentorship and if you need help, you have to use the bitna group to help yourself in a way that works out for you. Like post a question related to what kind of help you need, but it has to be technology specific and specific to job market or something like that. You need some kind of help, feel free to ask that question. Don't expect us to do meetups on every single topic. তাহলে এটা তো পসিবল না। যে
Right.
আমি একটা রেজুমে নিয়ে একটা মিট আপ করলাম, ওরা সবাই দুনিয়া মানুষ আসলো। So
So
small questions like
it's not
that,
like
please post it on
yeah.
Bitna group. You need this help, this specific help. Can someone help me? Can someone assist me? You will see a lot of people are interactive. They will help you. I'm telling you, there's people who will help you. If I'm there, I'll help you. Anybody else there, they're going to help you. But make sure you use our group to make it more interactive. We are here to help. But of course, we cannot do everything for you. We'll try to do it in the limited time and capacity that we all have. That's why we created this group, to help our community grow,
Mhm.
right? Exactly. So, right, having said that, I think we can end the session right now. And right now, it's going to be a chit chat Adda session. We always do it every group. So, right now, আমরা সবার সাথে পরিচিত হব and find out about what everybody else is doing, and everybody to speaks about themselves so that we can learn and grow and network from each other. So, Arafat, we'll start from you. Tell us about yourself and what you're
Yeah.
doing and everything. So,
Hi, Yasin
তুমি
bhai.
সবার সাথে একটু পরিচিত হলা আমাদের সবার সাথে।
Absolutely
Sorry,
fine.
don't get emotional. এখন হচ্ছে এখন আড্ডা
No,
আড্ডা
bhai,
এখন
absolutely
আড্ডা
fine.
এখন কিন্তু কমপ্লিটলি আড্ডা, ঠিক আছে?
আসসালামু আলাইকুম ভাই, আমার নাম তো জানেন আরাফাত। আর ইয়াসিন ভাই, জাহিদ ভাই, থ্যাংক ইউ ফর অর্গানাইজিং দিস ইভেন্ট। আমি থাকি ভাই ম্যাসাচুসেটসে, যে কাউন্টিতে থাকি, কাউন্টির নাম ওরস্টার। আর পড়াশোনা করি এই ডাটা অ্যানালিটিক্সে, মাস্টার্স করছি। এই ডিসেম্বর গ্রাজুয়েশন করব
Which
ডাব্লিউপিআই
college?
ডাব্লিউপিআই
Oh, okay. One of my friends went to WPI. That was back in 1996 and all that stuff. Worcester Polytechnic Institute. That's a very good college. ওখান থেকে পাশ করছে আমার
ডাব্লিউপিআই তে আমি এই ডাটা ওয়্যার হাউস, বিআই ডেভেলপার, তারপরে পাইথন, সিকুয়েল, আর হলগা এই আর আর এই পাওয়ার, এই কিছু বিআই টুল আছে যেমন টাবলো, পাওয়ার বিআই, এইগুলিতে আমার স্কিল সেট আছে। আর আমি দেশে বাংলা লিঙ্কে জব করেছিলাম আর সিটি ব্যাংকে জব করেছিলাম। দ্যাটস ইট। আর হোপ টু কানেক্ট উইথ ইউ সুন। দ্যাটস ইট।
Okay. I just had one simple advice. WPI is a very good school. They have very good big alumni association. Try to connect with those WPI LinkedIn groups on people like professors. They might be able to help you out because WPI is a very prestigious school and they have a very good network. Eh? Okay, moving on to the next person, Masul Azad. Just introduce yourself. I think we spoke to you and everything.
Okay, hello. So, hi,
বাংলায়
I'm
বলতে
Mausul.
পারো ভাই, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই।
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে। তো আচ্ছা, আমার নাম অফিসিয়াল নাম হলো আবু তাইব আজাদ, ডাকনাম আর কি মাউসুল। অ্যান্ড আমি এখন মাস্টার্স করছি কম্পিউটার সায়েন্সে উইচিতাতে, ক্যান্সাস।
ওকে।
অ্যান্ড প্ল্যান হলো যে নেক্সট অগাস্টে মানে গ্রাজুয়েট করা। সামারে লাস্ট একটা 3 ক্রেডিট আছে, তো ওইটা নিয়ে হয়তো আমি শেষ করব। আর এর আগে মানে কোভিডের টাইমে আমি একটা নিউ ইয়র্ক বেসড স্টার্টআপে মানে রিমোটলি কাজ করতাম, মেশিন লার্নিং ইঞ্জিনিয়ার স্ল্যাশ I mean, since it's startup, so অন্যান্য কাজও করতে হয়েছে আর কি, মানে ব্যাকএন্ড অন্যান্য
Okay.
জিনিসপত্র ইনভলভ থাকতে
They
হয়েছে।
didn't
So
sponsor you, or they will not. Okay, it is a startup, I guess. They don't have that capacity, I guess.
yeah.
All right, I got the point. Don't worry about it. I don't want to go into details. I'm just thinking from how I can help you in that regards. ওভাবে আমি চিন্তা করছি. Don't take it in a negative way. Syed,
Right now I'm just like focusing on like
hey, we are here to help you.
applying
If you have
and
any questions, use
applying
the
and
Bitna
learning.
group. Use the Bitna group. If you have any questions, put it post on the Bitna group. People will be there to help you. ঠিক আছে? কারণ সবার টাইম তো একসাথে হয় না। যা মিট আপের সময় সবাই একসাথে আমরা মিট আপ হই, কিন্তু সবসময় সবার একসাথে টাইম হয় না। So try to post your questions there. Everybody will be there to help you. There's mentors there. Like Jahid ভাই আছে, আরো অনেক mentors আছে যারা they will help you out. Syed, go ahead. Syed, can you hear me?
হ্যালো।
হ্যাঁ, পরিচিত হও আমাদের সাথে and tell us
আচ্ছা,
about yourself. This is just interactive session. That's it.
I have completed my master's in information system and technology recently. Right
Which
now, my
college?
OPT, Washington University.
Okay.
My OPT already started 15 May, and I have a experience. My background is electrical engineering. I have experience about around 8 years of the electrical engineering.
Okay. You could also give it a try in your field. You know, there's some companies that may be
But
able
I
to
am
hire
doing
you.
here master's IT.
Okay.
So,
I'm not sure if that matters, but anyway, we'll figure that out. Anyway, Mahfuz Ahmed, Assalamu alaikum, Mahfuz Ahmed Ruzel.
জি, আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
Walaikum salam ভাইয়া।
জি, আমি মাহফুজ আহমেদ রুজেল। আমি নিউ ইয়র্কেই থাকি। মাস্টার্স করতেছি এখানে। এখানে এটা মিশিগান ট্রাইন ইউনিভার্সিটি।
আচ্ছা।
সো এটা হাইব্রিড কোর্স। এখান থেকে আমি একদিন মানে এক সেমিস্টারে একদিন যাইতে হয়, ওখানে গিয়ে ক্লাস ক্লাস করে এখানে আর বিজনেস অ্যানালিটিক্স মাস্টার্স করতেছি। তো বাংলাদেশে ছিলাম, বাংলাদেশে ব্যাংকে ছিলাম, আমার ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড বিজনেস, ব্যাংকে 10 ইয়ার্স এক্সপিরিয়েন্স। আর এখানে আমি আসলে সাইফুল ভাইয়ের সাথেই আছি, সাইফুল ভাইয়ের সাথে বিভিন্ন
Oh yes,
ধরনের
Saifullah. He's also one of our mentors. Yes.
জি লাস্ট ইয়ার আমি লাইক আনঅফিশিয়াল ইন্টার্নশিপ মানে ওনার সাথে জিপিটি বলে ওখানে
Congratulations.
ওনার সাথে আমি বিয়ে করছি। এই বিষয়ে আমার স্ট্রেংথ আছে। So, if you have any opportunity and if you have any um, chance, please give me to suggestion or give me any suggestion. I will.
Okay, sure. Feel free to use the Bitna group and post your questions there. Nobody posts questions there. Everybody says, "Ami কি করবো অনেকে উল্টাপাল্টা." I want people to ask questions. Post your questions there. You specific help. Be you know there'll be the people there to help you. Saiful
জি
Bhuiya bhai, he's also one of our mentors. Saiful bhai,
জি
আসসালামু আলাইকুম, কেমন আছেন?
so,
তোমার সাথে পরিচিত হলাম।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম এহসান ভাই, কেমন আছেন?
আসি ভাই, আপনাকে দেখে খুব ভালো লাগতেছে ভাই। অনেকদিন পর কথা বললে। কেমন আছেন?
না সরি, এই তো ভালো। সরি, আমি ড্রাইভিং করতেছি।
না, অসুবিধা নাই,
সো
জাস্ট
আপনার
গিভ আস আ ব্রিফ অফ হোয়াট ইউ আর ডুইং এন্ড এভরিথিং, তাহলে সবার সাথে পরিচিত হলাম।
sure. My name is Saiful Buyan. I've been actually in the IT fields for 24 years. My background also been in accounting for past 7 years. Filing individual tax returns, business, corporates. And also, actually, we just launched a startup company in focusing on the AI realm. So actually joined to understand more curiosity about, other students are facing with OPT and CPTs and other challenges. So, just to trying to understand more about it. And I really appreciate যে ভাইয়া আমাদেরকে অনেকক্ষণ যে অনেক গাইডলাইন
জাহিদুল
দিল।
ভাই, হ্যাঁ।
Just want to Jahidul bhai, thank you Jahidul bhai. A lot of very good key points. So all these newcomers, they are trying to be in the job field. I just want to re-emphasize a couple of small points. I don't want to take too long. He already went in very details. The first thing is social networking is very important. That is one of the key important to find you job, and you just don't know when and who is going to help you. So don't get frustrated as everybody is saying it, that okay, I tried so many people and so many jobs, and then you just giving up. So just keep trying, and one day, you just out of a blue, you just find the right people. And the second thing is that, for the job resume and stuff like that, you should have a couple of different versions, just slightly different in my opinion. But yes, like also Jahid said, like, don't beat up too much into the job, on your resume. But yes, I'll give you my personal one point is that during one of my job company changing, I had like four actually five different interviews, including to company CEO, and I didn't get selected. And to have an experience for 10 years plus, actually at the time was 12 plus years, and five interview and still not get selected, sounds very frustrating. So now you can think about that as you guys are coming into the job field nowadays is much more competitive, right? So the point I'm trying to say is that don't get frustrated, don't give up. Just keep trying. Inshallah, you're just gonna have faith in it, and you'll get the job. And the last point is that, as Yasin Bhai said, we have a lot of platforms, a lot of connections, a lot of other mentors and brothers actually who have very good connections, just like Yasin Bhai and Jahid Bhai, that they are in the field helping not just students, anyone who needs help. And what I really appreciate that they put their dedicated time for us and other people's. We should take that as a granted. But also is that, as he said, network in the community, right? So ask your questions in the Bitnet channels. Like if you just ask one-to-one, that's great. But in order to find those key people, ask the question in openly. Don't get shy and don't feel frustrated. Oh, okay, I asked, nobody answered me.
আমরা অ্যাডমিনরা আছি তো, কেউ
Think about
উল্টা উল্টা বললে we are here, don't worry about it, ইয়া করে কিছু
exactly,
নেই।
and you have somebody to monitor your questions. But even somebody's not answering you, wait for some time, ask again, and ask Yasin Bhai, like, hey, can I repost this question like a month or two later, right? Because think about this way, I go to Bitna and check sometimes once in a while, sometimes I don't have the time. Just like that, everybody is busy, so it doesn't mean that somebody's gonna go and see the question, jump on it and answer questions. But have the patience, and just connect. First thing is connect. You will get your inshallah right place. That's all. Thank you, Bhaiya.
Okay, thank you Shaiful bhai, very important facts for re-emphasizing the. Sabrina Yasmin Apu, I think you're always frequently coming to our meetups. আপনার সাথে পরিচিত আবার হলাম, জাহিদ ভাইয়ের সাথে সবার সাথে পরিচিত হলেন একটু আপু।
আসসালামাইকুম ভাইয়া।
ওয়ালাইকুম
জি
সালাম, আপনি
ভাইয়া,
কেমন
আমি
আছেন?
আসলে জয়েন করি আপনাদের মিটআপ গুলাতে, কারণ অনেক ইম্পর্টেন্ট ইনফরমেশন পাওয়া যায়। সো অ্যাকচুয়ালি টুডে আমি জয়েন করেছি এই কারণে, আমি আসলে রিসেন্ট গ্রাজুয়েট না, আমি গ্রাজুয়েশন করেছি লং টাইম এগো, লাইক ব্যাক ইন
That's
2017।
fine.
বাট তারপরও আমি জয়েন করেছি এই কারণে, আসলে আমি ওই যে ক্যারিয়ার চেঞ্জ করতে চাই। আমি আসলে একটা আমার কোয়েশ্চেন ছিল, যেটা সেই কোয়েশ্চেনটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে, এক্সকিউজ মি ফর দ্য ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড নয়েজ।
Okay, no problem, no problem.
কোয়েশ্চেনটা ছিল হচ্ছে গিয়ে, যেহেতু আমি মানে ক্যারিয়ার সুইচ করতে চাই, আমার গ্রাজুয়েশন করা ছিল অ্যাপ্লাইড ম্যাথমেটিক্সে, ব্যাচেলার্স ডিগ্রি। এখন আমি একটু মাস্টার্স করতে চাই সফটওয়্যার, আমার আই ওয়ান্ট
সফটওয়্যার
টু গো টু
ডেভেলপমেন্ট করতে যাচ্ছেন, এই তো?
সফটওয়্যার ডেভেলপমেন্ট, এখন
ডেভেলপমেন্ট,
সেক্ষেত্রে
ওকে।
কি আমি যদি মাস্টার্স করি সেটা বেটার হবে, নাকি বুট ক্যাম্প করলে বেশি ভালো হবে?
I think the bootcamp owner, who is our guest, can answer that question, I think. Sorry.
The thing
Jahid
is,
bhai, sorry.
yeah,
Don't take
so
it negative way. It's just a joke.
yeah,
ঠিক
no,
আছে?
no problem. So again, I think I can definitely answer on it, but it has nothing to do with the trade I do, right?
I was just joking, but don't take it seriously.
No, I know. I am just giving other folks a disclaimer, right? Don't get
ঠিক
biased.
আছে।
I was talking about mental biasness, right? How the recruiter get biased when they see your profile. Same way, don't get biased by what I do, right? So in terms of like, switching, right? Let's take a factual, scenario. If you go for a bachelor, master's, which may take you 1 to 2 years, and then you are going to spend money for sure if you are not getting a full funded scholarship. So whatever the number it is. So you are spending money on the degree, a big amount of money, and also time and energy. And is it going to give you a guarantee of getting a job? I believe anyone in this room will agree that it will give a guarantee. It can make yourself better in terms of visibility, how it will look, but it is never going to bring a job for you. It is not going to give a guarantee. At the end of the day, after 2 years, all will see what is written in your resume, not what degree you have. Right?
Mhm.
In many cases, I suggest people only to write in education, bachelor, masters. This is what I do as well. I do not even write which organization I am from, just to give you information. I do not have degree from United States. Okay, I do not have any.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I do not have bachelor and even masters. I do not have any
I
masters.
don't. I don't.
I came from a different background. I came from Martin Marietta background. If you know me, my profession was 10 years at sea, right? And then I switched directly to tech and came all the way along today. Where am I today? But main fact is factual. Think factual that you're gonna spend money, but again, you will still have to gain those practical skills what industry is looking for, because your academic curriculum is based on federal education legal requirements. It's not fully focused on the industry what they need. The industry changes every now and then. So it becomes hard for you to even qualify for a job with only the degree. So you will have to parallelly gain those practical experiences. So now you do not have work authorization issue. That's I'm making a safe assumption. You don't have to give me your work authorization definitely in this call. But a safe assumption is you do not need a work authorization. You do not have any legal problem. Then
yeah. So
and
I
why
don't
should
have that problem.
Yeah, so what? No,
So
you do not have to disclose that. I'm just saying that I'm just making a safe assumption. If it is so, then why should I spend $20,000 or $30,000? I do not know where you will go. And also my energy, right? Your time is also investment. So you will invest money and you will spend time. At the end of the day, again, on top of that, I'm saying on top of that, to qualify for a job, you will definitely have to gain a skill. This is something there is no doubt, no question. If you want to apply for a software engineer role, people will look for certain skill set, which you will not get from university in 90% cases. So then why you are going to burn yourself extra? Now, again, you are very much interested to be academic. You want to get a degree and you wanted to maybe, climb up in the ladder to up to CEO, CFO or whatnot, which is great ambition. How can you do that? Once you start your job, you have money coming in your pocket. Now go ahead, do a part-time master's. Take 2 years to finish your master's. There are many, many good, exciting organizations where you can do that. You have money coming in and you also have that affection or passion towards a degree, right? You can achieve that, right? So these are I'm just delivering a fact. I'm not suggesting you to what to do and what not to do, right? As a career coach, my job is to actually guide people, not to tell what to do. So I hope that gives a clear picture that what you should choose, right? Which route you should go, right? Now, if you choose to going into learning something, now you go learn in boot camp, you learn in self. It depends on who you are, because 90% people may need others' help. 10% people are very much self-motivated. They can go free resources. We can give you a full prescription that, hey, go from here to here and get everything done, right? If you come few of my workshops, you'll find the entire roadmap or blueprint to get, skilled in certain area. But again, some people cannot execute by themselves, so they only go to bootcamp. So whatever the group you are belongs to, you follow that method. But before even you do that, you decide what you will do. Are you going to? You have to focus on a particular area which is going to have a growth. When I say growth, I'm looking into not current. I'm not looking into current bad situation. I'm looking into 5 years, 3 years down the line. If my salary is X amount, after 3 years, where I will reach, where the industry will, at that time, what will be the picture of the industry? That's something you have to project. And it is for everyone, not only for Sabrina, right? If you cannot project where you will be after 3 years, then you are not making the right plan, because you are going to invest something which looks lucrative to you, but eventually the roadmap, the industry trend or tech trend says that after 5 or 6 years is going to be obsolete. Then you're going to again struggle to do something again. Whatever you will be doing, you need to at least have 5 to 10 years assurance that this is something I'm learning. I can sell this skill set by doing a little bit repair, not a drastical repair, adding a little bit on top of it next 5 to 10 years, right? If you are doing something today and after 2 years is going extremely down and you know that it is going to be dead or going to be obsolete, and then you have to do a drastic shift, dramatic shift, right? From north to south, you have to learn absolutely new things. So these are few considerations you should make before you choose what you will do, which route you should go. So there are multiple things to decide, right? One thing is to decide whether you go to university or go to bootcamp. If you decide to go on the right, which is bootcamp, if you go on the left, which is universities, you are adding a bootcamp also on top of it, either self-paced or going to some people, right? because you need industry experience, even you have degrees. Now, if you come to bootcamp route, make sure you choose what you will do, the route or career path. Make a proper career planning with the right people, with your trusted people, I would say, trusted and knowledgeable people. This is extremely important. I'm telling you, you cannot take a lesson from someone who you do not trust when it is about your life and career. You need to build that trust relationship between those people and have that full confidence that this is a people, whatever they're saying from their honest intention with the right knowledge, right? So again, choosing that part is going to be a crucial at this point when you are trying to switch, because once you switch, you do not want to be in a situation where you feel like, what the heck I did. That's the worst thing to happen, right? So even that, I'll just, I think I'm giving a big answer, but I think it's a very, very important question. So I have to really give you a little bit more. I give another example usually to people, right? Before you start, let's say, you wanted to go for a walk or hiking, right? I'm your friend. I'm inviting you, hey, Sabrina, come, let's go for a walk or hiking. And I didn't tell you the difficulties of hiking, where I'm going, actually. I didn't tell you the road, right? Route. Now, I may go to like hiking like a big top mountain in Catskill if you're in New York, or may I go in a flat land in somewhere in Texas, right? Now, if you know before you commit to, go for hiking with me, that what is the level of difficulties you're going to face, you're going to actually make proper preparation. You're going to have a proper boot. You're going to have a proper bag and food and whatnot. Then even you find difficulties, you will be, okay, I'm going to see the beauty. So I'm going to go up, hike in the top, right? So, exactly career plan goes with this. You make sure you know the difficulties, you know the benefits, and you know how you're going to go there, right? Then only you commit on how to do it. Usually what people do, they say, hey, I want to be software engineer. So they start go and do a Udemy course, or they start do a Coursera course, or they start go sign up a bootcamp. No, it doesn't work that way. Because you didn't do the initial feasibility study. You didn't clearly laid your full process plan end to end, that what really you want to do and what things you have to achieve during the process. So now you struggle and your success rate becomes extremely low. I hope this was helpful.
আচ্ছা,
Did
আমি
I
একটা
answer?
অ্যাডভাইস দিব সাবরিনা আপুকে। সাবরিনা
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আমি একটা খাঁটি অ্যাডভাইস দিব। সাপোজ আপনি একটা কোম্পানিতে যাবেন, কোম্পানিতে একটা লোক দরকার সে যে জাভা জানে বা সি শার্প বা রিয়াক্ট জানে। তো ও যখন আপনার রেজিউমে দেখবে আপনি মাস্টার্স করছেন, ওটা তো তার কাছে ভ্যালুয়েবল না। তার কাছে ভ্যালুয়েবল কি? আপনি একটা রিয়াক্টে কাজ করছেন বা জাভাতে কাজ করছেন বা সি শার্পে কাজ করছেন, আপনার 2-3 বছর এক্সপিরিয়েন্স, আপনি কাজটা পারবেন। কোম্পানির কাছে ওটা মোর ভ্যালুয়েবল দেন ইউর ডিগ্রি। তো কোম্পানি জানে যে একে হায়ার করলে সে কাজটা করতে পারবে। ব্যাপারটা বুঝতে পারছি আপনাকে। So, আপনার এই মাস্টার্স ডিগ্রি করলেই যে কোম্পানির জন্য তো ওটা কোনো ভ্যালুয়েবল না। মাস্টার্স ডিগ্রি তখনই ভ্যালুয়েবল যদি আপনি কম্পিউটার সায়েন্সে মাস্টার্স করতে না করে ইউ ক্যান ডু এন এমবিএ টু ক্লাইম্ব আপ দ্য কর্পোরেট ল্যাডার ওয়ান্স ইউ গেট আ জব। দ্যাট উইল বি মোর এফেক্টিভ ফর দ্য কোম্পানি। তার চেয়ে বেটার আপনি ওই জব স্পেসিফিক স্কিল সেটটা শিখেন। যেমন ইউডেমিতে ফুল স্ট্যাক জাভাস্ক্রিপ্টের একটা কোর্স আছে, ইটস অনলি $10. You just buy that, you learn how to do JavaScript, make couple of applications in JavaScript full stack with React and Node, whatever. You post it on GitHub and you add some experience from some friends and whatever. You can get a job as a JavaScript developer. You can get into a role into software development right away. So এই মাস্টার্সটা তখন কাজে লাগবে না। The investment that you're making is not going to be helpful. It's not going to be helpful for you. It's not going to be helpful for the company. Company will see that আমার তো একটা লোক দরকার যে জাভা জানে বা সি শার্প জানে। ও কি পারে? সাবমিট কি পারে? That's how they assess candidates.
সো
So
ভাইয়া
Right?
এখানে আমি আরেকটা কোশ্চেন
বুঝতে
যেটা
পারছি।
করতে
I'm
চাই।
just giving you a practical example. That's how I get jobs, because I give the practical skills that I have specifically required for that job, and I go and get it. That's how the job market works.
ওকে, সো এখানে ফর এক্সাম্পল আমি সাম বুট ক্যাম্পে গেলাম ওর নিজে নিজে শিখলাম, হোয়াট এভার ইট ইজ। সো আমি যদি নিজে নিজে কিছু প্রজেক্ট করি, সেই প্রজেক্ট গুলা কি আমার প্রিভিয়াস ওয়ার্ক এক্সপিরিয়েন্সের সমান
GitHub
ইকুইভ্যালেন্ট
account.
হবে?
Why don't you put them on GitHub? Put your projects on GitHub. You can share your GitHub profile link in your resume. People will look at it.
actually, the sister is asking
Some company
question.
loves that.
Yeah, she's asking actually, can I show my projects in my work experience? That's what she's asking.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
right, exactly.
Okay.
Sabrina,
This is my question.
yeah, so yes, you can do that, right? Now there are two options to do it again. I have to give a little bit detailed answer. Two options is like, can I just put it in as an internship or somewhere? Yes, you can put it. Or can I fake it? If you fake it, it's on you. But you can definitely say, what is your skill set? Now, even let's keep this one aside. What an employer looks at. Employer need to see that what you are capable of doing it. So if you have done a big project with 5, 6, 10, 20 components and you develop something, can you narrate it in 3 lines or 2 lines in a way that it is quantifiable, it is meaningful, that what you have done, what was the impact there? So this is something I am reading in the resume. If I can read that, I'm convinced I'm going to move ahead with that. Okay, another thing, I just wanted to share you a fact, right? For example, if you apply for a company like Amazon, they don't even check your education, just to let you know if you don't know, right? My company, like I work for Amazon, Amazon do not know where I studied. I didn't give them any study information in my resume. I didn't give them any paper resume, just to give you another. They just came through LinkedIn and I went for all these things and I didn't submit them any paper resume. Why? There is an internal Amazon process where we say that there is a different process inside Amazon where we do not advocate people to give paper resume. Again, some cases they take, but most cases it is not. So your degree is not a big factor when you see these companies' requirements, right? Instead of when you see list, because I may give a personal opinion, but this company has already decided a standard saying that I don't care what degree you have, as long as I'm convinced that I can talk to you, because my interview process is such that we will filter out who you are. We are not going to assess that you have a great degree from Ivy League college or whatnot, because if you don't pass this 5 round, you are not qualified. If the 5 people in the board is not saying that I'm inclined, you are not going ahead, right? So it's at the end of the day, it's your skill, it's your capacity to grasp. And for your experiences, definitely all this project you'll be doing to some way that need to be put into the system. Now, again, you are doing 20 projects. Should I put 20 projects in my resume? No, that's not a nice way to do it, because in a company, you are in a 2 years, you are not doing 20 projects. It's not practically true. The project I'm going to tell, the project I'm very much proud of, maybe 2 or 3 projects. I'm not going to write all of them. Why I'm going to do that? Because in the later phase, when you'll be in the interview, you will be interrogated on these projects. So you just do not want to dump all the projects which you are not maybe much confident enough. I hope that answers your question.
Exactly. So having said that, is
yes ভাইয়া, like that's what I asked actually, because IT তে আমি যেটা দেখেছি যে there is no entry level position, even if like it's like junior level engineer, they require some 3 to 4 years or 5 years of experience.
well, you have to understand the company's perspective also. Companies investing in millions of dollars. They need people to come and get the
right,
job done.
of course,
So they
but
don't want to hire honorees to come and get
like
the job
people
done. And
like
they don't
me,
have the
like the
time.
fresher or the recent graduate, how they're gonna have this kind of experience and how they will enter into the field. So this is my question.
The IT industry is very brutal. They don't have those options, to be honest. So what the only option available is to go through trial and error process. You fake it till you make it, or some kind of mentors, like someone beaten out someone who helps you out. It's really a hard and there's no hard and fast rule here. So I cannot give you an exact answer to that question. There's no hard and fast rule. But the fact is,
Because I'm
যে
really
কাজটা যে
not
কাজটা
like
আপনি জানবেন,
supportive to the faking the experience
I
or
know I
anything.
don't
So
support it, but
You don't have to.
like
You do not have to. Yes, yeah, Sabrina, right? You do not have to.
you don't have to.
There are people I have worked with. We were able to let them in by 1 year internship experience. So it is doable, but the thing is that journey going to be tough for you. The money going to be less. Are you willing to commit for less money and tough journey? There's on a candidate.
Exactly. That was my
And the
next
second
point.
thing is that this bad procedure has been adopted by some good people around the world for last 30-40 years. It's not new. It's new to us, many of us, but it's not new in the industry. It is extremely, I'm not advocating on favor of this. I'm just saying how we ended up with this situation. Now, the practical situation is a company needs someone go and sit down and do the work. So it is a way to force you to get your things done before even you come in. So now you do it in Bitcamp, you do it in Udemy or Coursera, it's to you. But company want you to demonstrate that I know how to build things. I know how to fix things. I know how to advocate for certain things, right? I have the skill set, so that they have to put a less time on you to bring you up to the speed.
Yeah, also,
yes,
actually, I want to add a couple of
yeah.
points over
Yes,
here.
Saiful bhai.
So, one thing is actually before you jump onto the wagon for IT careers or any career, it doesn't have to be IT. One thing to consider that I normally suggest and recommend people think about, that's something that you would love to do, right? Just like you have to be dedicated to spend like 14, 16, 18, 24 hours sometimes, some cases that You're going to spend the time to learn, stay on top of it, and adapt to it. Meaning is that, technology is changing, right? A lot of people we see like in a very good high salary in IT, and we're like, oh, okay, we're just going to learn Python and then or Java, and I'm going to have like $200,000 salary, and that's it, go 9 to 5 job. Yeah, from outside it looks the same, but that's not the case, right? Like there's a lot of dedication you need to do. So if you think that you really, really love programming, then you should focus on going forward in that route. If you don't like programming, if you're going after the money, I don't normally suggest people going after the money. Is the first thing is what do you love to do? Especially in this country, what I've seen is that you can make money out of nothing to $1 million, $1 billion. I'll give you again.
Right.
We all use
Exactly,
Facebook, right?
exactly.
It
Right.
was
I'm on
I
the same.
totally believe
and
that.
now it's $1 billion. So the second thing is that is going to add a little bit more, points to Yasin Bhai and Jadul Bhai is that for master degree, same thing. I actually don't have a master's too, and alhamdulillah, I'm happy. But doesn't mean that I don't. I'm not recommending you that you shouldn't. It's something is a personal note, right? So if you would like to go masters or any degree, you should go for it. But don't go because you want to get the job. You need to have the hands-on practical experience, just like the brother said. The other thing is that when you go for the masters, my personal opinion is that have the hands-on first, then go for the masters. It's like you put a cherry on top of a cupcake. So having the masters later on, it's like you jumping or you getting a higher job role in your career, but it's not lending you to the job. Master doesn't leave you. And one other thing is that when you look for apply for a job, look for the details. Some of the keywords is very important. And Jadba is like expert on these two, pinpoints. Like when you look for you'll see that it says, oh yeah, masters, bachelors, but look at the word. It says required versus preferred. So sometimes we overlook that. Oh yeah, we said preferred, and I need to have a master's. So as a beginner and sometimes as a newcomers, we say like, oh man, I don't have a master's, but they're not looking for master students. They want to have somebody who's in the master program. It's okay, but if you don't even have that, it's all right. Even if nowadays a lot of those IT careers, they look for bachelors, but they don't say required. They say like preferred. So those are the keywords. Like sometimes you look for a job interviews, job descriptions, going back to Arfat Bhai, when they ask for it, and Jadul Bhai actually pinpoint to the CPT and OPT is like, sometimes it's about required versus preferred, or sometimes there's like, we want something, but it doesn't have to be like that. So those are the keywords that you should really look for, when you, scan through the stuff. But again, going back to Sabrina Po, like, if you want to change your career, my personal 2 cents is that think about you spending most of your life or time and hours into this field that you love to do. If you don't, I wouldn't recommend going after chasing the money. I'll give you my personal professional thing is that, like I said, I've been in the IT industry. I'm still in the IT industry for 24 years, and I'm still now in the accounting field. I went slightly back because I thought like something fun to go. And going to the accounting field, I also see the other side of the greens. Like, sometimes a lot of people say, oh yeah, accounting field is so easy. Just go do the tax file, it's so easy, and you can make money. But now I'm at the other side of the field. I'll tell you, it's not that easy as it sounds looks like. And that's kind of what I'm trying to say is that don't go after the money, go after what you love, that you can really spend the time, and definitely you can make a lot more money if you spend you're devoted to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plus one
So
on what Saiful Bhai just said, like I would say, like I cannot agree on this more. I'll tell you something to add here, right? Last 6 years, when I'm talking to people, one of the questions they ask me how much I'll make. And no one
oh
except
man.
my very close people, in a personal connection, I do not talk about salaries with people. I said, if you are looking for career guidance and career coaching, you need to have a different mindset than only chasing for the money. Money is a fact. You can go Google and find out the salaries, but that should not drive you to do it, right? If that would have driven like you cannot get success through that. You cannot really chase better things in that way, right? If you do not have that passion, that motivation to really do what you want to do, only money is not a motivating factor, because one day you're gonna collapse. That's why I said about the journey, right? Example of journey. You need to know why you are making it, just not the money. Money cannot be the only motivating factor. So I 100% agree with Brother Saiful. The-
I
Okay.
have
And
I have
have
something to share if you allow.
we're running out of time, but please go ahead. I'll give you 1 minute.
Like আমার আমার কাছে মনে হয়েছে যে আমি বাংলাদেশে যখন ছিলাম বাংলাদেশে ইউনিভার্সিটি ডিগ্রি দিয়ে অনেকগুলি জব হয়। But when I landed in USA, I thought that university degree or bachelor master doesn't matter. What skill actually I have, what I can do for the company and what I can give, এটা দিয়ে আসলে জব হয়। ডিগ্রি আসলে কোন ইউনিভার্সিটি থেকে মাস্টার্স করছি, এটা কত ক্রেডিটের, কি ছিল, ইউনিভার্সিটি রেপুটেশন কত, হয়তো আইভি লিগে হয়তো ওই ধরনের ইউনিভার্সিটিতে হয়তো ম্যাটার করে, বা আদার দেন দ্যাট রেস্ট অল অফার সেম। আর সেকেন্ড যে জিনিসটা হলো, শি- আসল শিক্ষাটা হয় আমার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে জব ফিল্ডে গেলে, জব করলে রিয়েল শিক্ষাটা হয়। মাস্টার্সটা করলে একটা একটা জাস্ট একটা ডিগ্রি লাগানো হলো ফর ইন্টারন্যাশনাল স্টুডেন্টস, জাস্ট এ প্ল্যাটফর্ম টু এন্টার ইনটু দ্য ইউএসএ। বা রিয়েল লার্নিংটা হয় জব করলে, ডে টু ডে কোডিং এ প্রবলেম পড়লে, এই বাগিং সফটওয়্যার মানে বাগিং সলভ করলে, যখন রাত্রেবেলা কোড সলভ হয় না, না ঘুম আসলে, তখন গিয়ে আসলে নিজের রিয়েল ডেভেলপমেন্টটা হয়। আলটিমেটলি ইউনিভার্সিটিতে কোর্সটা করলে একটা শিখা হয়, বাস জাস্ট এ added a beautification in my CV, nothing more than that.
Okay.
I
Having
want to
said
put
that,
a disclaimer here, just 10 seconds here. I will finish on 10 seconds. So
mm,
there are certain roles that will must ask you to have a degrees, right? Why not? What are those rules, right? Very specific scientific research, very specific R&D is being done in machine learning, data science, and so field. Even in a software engineering, right? So again, if we say that it's not even required, it's just required for those very particular roles, maybe 2% or 3% or 5%. I'm not 100% on the percentage, but that's the actually the place where you see degree is mandatory. But then why I'm going to chase for those 5% role, I should chase for 95% role, because that's if I am just a little bit smart enough, right? So that's just to add on the disclaimer.
okay. Having said that, we are running out of time. We are at the end of our session. So I'd like to thank everyone joining us here. And জাহিদুল ভাই, আপনাকে আন্তরিকভাবে অনেক ধন্যবাদ। আমি from my heart আমি আপনাকে দিচ্ছি আমার ধন্যবাদটা। ঠিক আছে? I
Thank
wish
you.
I could, if there's a বাংলা word like which is beyond ধন্যবাদ, যেহেতু নাই, তাহলে আমি আপনাকে একটা কথা বলবো, আন্তরিকভাবে আপনাকে ধন্যবাদ।
No,
সবাইকে
thank
হেল্প
you,
করার
thank you,
জন্য আন্তরিক
thank you.
ধন্যবাদ। এই বলে শেষ করতে যাচ্ছি আজকে সেশনটা। তার আগে একটা কথা বলতে চাই, আমাদের আমাদের অ্যানুয়াল পিকনিক ইজ অন June 8th in Belmont Lake State Park. So those who didn't sign up, please sign up and come with your family. You'll get to meet all technology professionals, food, fun, everything. You'll get to meet anyone. If you have any questions, you can even connect with some mentors and IT professionals there with their families as well. So that's even better. So June 8 তারিখে আমাদের পিকনিক হচ্ছে নিউ ইয়র্কে, Belmont Lake State Park. Don't forget to miss that opportunity to meet me or everybody, anyone else who's going to be there. That's even better. ওটা বলে আজকে আমাদের সেশনটা শেষ করতে যাচ্ছি। I'm just going to stop the recording and thank you very much for joining this session.